Okay, dear students, today we'll start with an interesting topic called investment accounts, which is uh, a very small topic but a very interesting topic, and a lot of interesting aspects are there in this topic. Typically, in accounting standard number 13, many of you would have gone through that. There is a procedure for accounting for investments. When we are talking of investments, we are talking about certain companies and business houses which deploy the surplus funds by investing them into government scrips like government securities or debentures or equity shares of various companies. Even as individuals, we invest in shares of companies and debentures of companies, etc. Now, it is always, for control purposes, better to have a separate account for each scrip. We use the word scrip so that you know what is the profit or loss on each transaction and how much you have invested in each script, and all that can be better understood. What is the brokerage cost you have spent on each script? Everything can be better understood, and you will be able to have better control over your investments. So that's the purpose of preparation of investment accounts. And when we talk of investment accounts, definitely it is closely related to what we studied in AS 13 under accounting for investments, which is forms the basis for accounting here also, particularly for companies and all that. So, how are you going to prepare individual investment accounts? How are we going to determine the cost of investments? There are a lot of interesting terms which you are going to understand here. Many of that terms, like for example, ex dividend, cum dividend, and ex interest price, cum interest price, then rights issue, bonus issue, all that is going to be seen in this investment accounts topic. And very interestingly, whenever you sell some scrip, whenever you sell some shares, you need to determine profit or loss on sale. You need to arrive at the closing value of your investments, which has to be reflected in the books of accounts and all that. So this topic is going to enable us understand all of that. And typically there are few accounting aspects which we'll also cover through in this topic as AS 13, whatever has been provided for under AS 13, we'll also try to cover that. There are few terms which you are all very much familiar, right? So whenever we talk of shares of companies, investment in shares, it's called, there's something called a dividend. So particularly shares, you have a term called dividend, you are very much aware. You have rights issues, you have bonus issue, and there is something called brokerage for purchase of shares, that becomes cost. Now if you look at the cost of investment, your cost of investment including the brokerage, so let us say you buy 1000 shares of EA Limited at rupees 25 or 20 per share, and you paid a brokerage of rupees or percentage 10% or 5% brokerage, 5% on value. So very simple, the cost of investment is going to be for you 1000 into 20,000 plus 5% brokerage of 20,000, which is going to be 1000. So your total cost of investment is going to be 21,000. So when I'm going to talk about my cost of investment, it's 21,000, and later I sale of 1000 shares. The same 1000 shares I sell it at rupees 25 per share, and at the time also I pay brokerage of 2%. Let us say, okay. So sale value of 1000 shares is 25,000 less brokerage I am going to pay 2%, 2% of 25,000, which is 500. So I net sale consideration, net sale value is 24,500. Now carefully understand, I have made a profit here. I have bought it in the month of August, I have sold it in the month of September. So I have made a profit on my investments. Very simple. I sold it for 24,500. I bought it for cost of 21,000. Total cost. So I made a profit of rupees 3,500. Now this is what this I have to determine correctly. Not only that, I keep getting dividend regularly, and the dividend has to be identified, how much of dividend I get in each share. That is also my income, and we are supposed to categorize the capital. This is like a capital profit, okay, and 3,500 what you make out of your investments, and dividend is what something you receive which is recurring in nature, that is revenue. So it will go to P&L. If you are a company, the profit on sale of investments, particularly you have to categorize your investments for companies as short term investments and long-term investments. Particularly I'm talking about companies, because AS 13 what we are talking about. So there is a cost. Short-term investments should be valued at cost or market value, whichever is less, like inventory. Long-term investments are always to be valued at cost, should be valued at cost. Very important. Okay, so hope you understood this. So you have to first of all classify your investments for accounting purposes into short-term investments or long-term investments. Typically, the company at the time of making investment should decide whether they want to keep it for short-term or long-term, and accordingly, okay, you can actually convert your short-term into long-term or long-term into short-term, vice versa. That is also covered in AS 13, how to go about it. All that is something which you need to understand properly. Okay. Now, with respect to investment accounts, we are going to do some problems on how to account for shares, how to account for debentures, and what are the various formats you should adopt for accounting for investments and all that. Okay. So let us go one by one. We'll take up an interesting problem now with respect to shares in a company, and so then we'll go to aspects of debentures and other investments. Okay. So investments in shares, investment in debentures, etc. Clear? Okay, let us take a problem now about shares first of all. Then we'll go to debentures. Clear? Good. Okay, so we will straight away start with a problem to understand, and while doing problems, I'll also explain you a few terms which are applied here. First of all, the question, I'll read it out. Mr. Krishnamurthy on 1/4/2002 purchased 1000 equity shares of 100 each in Telco Limited at 120 per share from a broker who charged 2% brokerage, and he incurred 50 paise per 100 rupees as cost of share transfer fee. On 31/1/2003, bonus was declared in the ratio of 1:2. Before and after the record date of bonus shares, the shares were quoted at 175 per share and 90 per share respectively. On 31/3/2003, Mr. Krishnamurthy sold bonus shares to a broker at paid 2% brokerage. Okay. Show the investment account in the books of Mr. Krishnamurthy, who held the shares as current assets, and closing value of investment shall be at cost or market value, whichever is less. So there is a simple mechanism here. Carefully observe. In the books of, we have to go a little methodically. Krishnamurthy, we have to call this as investment account, and not only that, we have to, within bracket, script means share, equity shares of Telco Limited. Okay, investment account, this is for a period. Okay, normally for the year ended 31/3/2003. Okay. So this is the heading you have to give. So there are some interesting formats here. Kindly make a note. There is a column for date, very important. There is a date column. There is a column for particulars. There is a column for nominal value. Okay, each book there will be a slight variation in this. That doesn't matter. You can also have quantity, number of shares. Okay, and then you can have the cost. Okay, you can have particulars, nominal value, then you can have cost. Okay, number of shares, I'll put it in another column. So you'll have number of shares. Then you have nominal value. Nominal value means face value. Okay. So number of shares. Good. So these are all some simple columns on the debit side, and you also have on the other side, you have something like credit side. So I'll copy this. I'll put it here. So it's easy for understanding. Okay. Coming to this is debit side basically. This is like debit. Coming to credit side. Again, you have similar column, date. You have a column for particulars. You have number of shares. Number of shares for easy tracking. So you have a column for that. Nominal value of shares. and you got cost of shares. Okay, good. So we'll proceed now. Very important. This is only with respect to telco shares which are there. And so on 1/4/2002, he purchased. So to bank purchased how many shares? Carefully observe. He purchased 1000 equity shares at a nominal value of 1 lakh, and he bought it at, carefully observe. For each of this you need to have working. He paid a brokerage also. So he paid 2% brokerage. So let us put the cost of purchase of equity shares. There is an important calculation. So 1000 shares at 10 rupees. Actual cost 1000 into 10. He bought it at what price? 100 rather. 1000 of 100 each. He bought it at 120. 1000 into 120. So cost is 120, 1,20,000. Add brokerage. So he has paid brokerage of 2%. 2% of 1,20,000 is. So look at this carefully. He is purchasing, and on 1,20,000 is paying 2% brokerage. Not only that, half percentage. 50 paise means what? Half percentage. Add 0.5 percentage of stamp fee. Stamp fee. So total 2.5%. 2.5% of 1,20,000. So 2.5, 0.025 into 1,20,000. Put together. You get 3,000 rupees. So the total cost of purchase is, total cost of investment is 1,23,000. So this is what should come here. The value is 1 lakh and cost is 1,23,000. Very important. So this is working note number 1. Very important here. There are a lot of working notes involved. So kindly make a note. This is, I'll put bracket working note number 1. So for easy understanding. Because for each of this there is a working note involved. Then what happens? You have to go on chronology. Very, very important, dear students. Here you should go by chronology. Chronology means what happens next. After 1/4/2002, what happens? On 31/1/2003, they are going to give you bonus shares. So this, person is actually getting bonus shares. So let's put it as bonus shares. Two bonus shares. Now very important, the ratio of bonus shares is given as what? 1:2. That is for every, now bonus issue, carefully observe, 1:2 bonus issue. How much is given for how much is held? 1:2 means bonus issue 1:2. So that means for every 2 held, 1 bonus share. Very important, dear students. If bonus issue is said to be 1:2, that means for every 2 shares held, he is going to get 1 bonus share. Or if it is 2:1, that means he is going to get 2 bonus shares for every 1 held. So for every 2 shares held, 1 bonus share. That is the meaning of it. Very, very important. So now he is having 1000 shares. So he is going to be getting how many shares now? 500 shares. And face value is 50,000. And there is no cost for this. No cost for bonus shares. You are all very much aware. There is no cost for bonus shares. Okay. So on 31/1/2003, he is allotted bonus shares without any cost. Then year end on 31/3/2013, rather 3, what he is doing? He is selling part of this. Carefully observe. On 31/3/2003, Mr. Krishnamurthy sold bonus shares after paying a brokerage of 2%. So by bank, how much is going to realize is very, very important. So the bonus shares are 500 number of shares and face value is 50,000. He is going to sell for what value? Very, very important. I will show you working here. Working note number 2. Now if you look at the bonus shares, sale proceeds, how he is going to get. So he is going to sell 500 bonus shares at 90 rupees per share. So it's going to get how much actually? 45,000 and less brokerage. He is going to pay 2% brokerage, which is 900. So net realization 4400. So net realization on sale of bonus shares 4400. Okay, so bonus shares realization, whatever is sold by bank, you should show 4400. Now, very important, before you move forward, you have to determine profit or loss on sale of bonus shares. Profit or loss on sale of bonus shares. So let us come to working note number 3. This is working note number 2, working note number 3. Very important, dear students, profit or loss on sale of bonus shares. Now, as far as investment accounting is concerned, you have to take cost as average cost. Average cost. So he has bought, look at this, he has totally spent 1,23,000 for 1,500 shares, right? So 1,23,000 for 1,500 shares. Are you able to understand this? So what is the cost for 500 bonus shares? So cost of 1,500 shares in total, including bonus shares of 500 is rupees 1,23,000. We have to take the total cost. So cost of 500 bonus shares is 1,23,000 into 500 by 1,500. So you will get the average cost is 41,000. So cost of bonus shares is 41,000. Sale value of bonus shares, we just now calculated 4,400. So profit is 4,400 minus 41,000 is equal to 3,100. So he's made a profit of 3,100, which has to be recorded as 2 P&L on 31/3, 2003, 2 P&L. Very important, dear students, 2 P&L. Within bracket, profit on sale of bonus shares. Working note number 3. So kindly note here, we have given a working note 3. So that gives you have to put it in the cost column, which is 3,100. Now coming to 31/3, 2003, you have to arrive at the closing balance. By balance carried down. Closing balance, you have got balance of 1,000 shares and of course face value 1 lakh. And the balancing figure is what you should put it as cost. So you put the total here. Now number of shares, you can put the total. You can put a column here. Total 1,500, 1,50,000, 1,26,00. So 1,500, 1,50,000, 1,26,00. So the balancing figure is your closing value of investments, 82,000. Are you able to understand this? So now the market value per share is 90, whereas look at this. The question says before and after. Very important. Before and after bonus, why it happens, I'll tell you. Accounting, in company accounts, you may remember I said when bonus shares are issued, very important, make a note, when bonus shares are issued, since it's free, the market price per share, which is a reflection of earnings per share, will drop on a proportionate basis. Very, very important. That's why before bonus and after bonus the price changes. So before bonus the price will be higher, after bonus the price will be, so before bonus it's called, the price is called X bonus price. X bonus price. And after bonus it's called, the price is called, this is sorry, this is before bonus, it's called cum bonus price. After that, it's called ex bonus price. It's called cum including bonus, and this is after bonus is called ex bonus price. So the price before bonus will be higher than price after bonus. That is why before bonus it was 175, and in this problem, and after bonus it's 90. So very last point, the market price per share is rupees 90. So for 1000 share, and for 1000 shares held, the market prices, because it's held as a current asset, so cost or market value, whichever is less, the market value is rupees 90,000, whereas we just now calculated the cost. The cost is rupees 82,000. So investments will be at cost of rupees 82,000 as at year end. So very important. So here we are actually bringing in the accounting principles of valuing the short-term investments. Which is basically about cost or market value, whichever is less. Okay, clear? Good. Right. So let's understand this properly. Hope you got a clear understanding this. You have to have columns like this, very, very important. And let us understand this carefully. The columns in particular, very, very important, dear students. You have to be very clear on the format, the column and all that. So I'm just showing it for your easy understanding, because investment accounts calls for better presentation. So just for one problem at least I'll show you, so that how to go about it you will know. So you need to have proper columns put up here, so that this is the manner in which you have to have the columns. First column date, you have particulars, you have number of shares. Some books may give a number of shares, some books may not give a number of shares, but you can give number of shares for better control. So putting up one more column doesn't take much time, and so kindly do that. And if you don't have time, it's okay, but otherwise I would recommend you to put columns without missing out anything. But there are few columns which you have to anyway put, but columns like number of shares, etc., it's optional, but I would recommend it, because then only you will have better control over the problem. Otherwise what would happen is you will get confused. You will not know how many shares are there, how many shares are being sold and all that. So to have better control over the problem, I would strongly recommend you to put column for number of shares also. Beautifully done. I hope you understood now. So this is how you should prepare an investment account for a particular script. Like this you have to prepare for each script. Okay, each script you have to prepare. So we'll put credit here. Okay, got it? Okay, right. Now we'll go to the next problem now. So this is the format of investment accounts, and very importantly, whenever you sell some shares, you should determine the profit or loss, and profit should be transferred to P&L account, or loss also, if any, should be transferred to P&L account. So the determination of profit or loss becomes an important working, and for this you need to know what is cost of purchase of shares. Everything involves some working here. That is why I have given us proper working notes. Hope you understood it properly. Working note number 1, working note number 2, and working note number 3. So we have got 3 working notes here. Working note number 2, and I also gave you another working note, profit or loss on sale of bonus shares. Working note number 3. Clear? Good. Let's move on to the next problem, and the next problem we'll try to do in equity shares. Sundar, it's fairly lengthy problem, so I'll read it out and I'll share the question with you. Sundar had 25,000. Okay, I'll probably put it down here before I do this problem for easy understanding. Okay, so anyhow, so Mr. I'll read out the question, then I'll send it to you separately because it's a lengthy question. So I would, in order to save time, I'll do that. So Mr. Sundar on 1496 had 25,000 equity shares of Excel Limited at a book value of rupees 15 per share and face value of rupees 10. And on 2696 he purchased another 5,000 shares of the company at rupees 16 per share. The directors of Excel Limited announced bonus and rights issue No dividend was payable on these issue. The terms of issue were as follows: bonus 1:6 on 16/8/96. Then you have rights issue 3:7 on 31/8/96 at price of 15 per share. Due date for payment is on 30th September 96. Shareholders can transfer the rights in full or in part. Accordingly, Sundar sold 33.1/3% of his entitlement, and dividend for the year ended for consideration of 2 per share. Dividend for the year ended 31/3/96 was received at the rate of 20%, and he received it on 31/10/96. Dividend for shares acquired by him on 26/96 ought to be adjusted against cost of purchase. On 15/11/96, Sundar sold 25,000 shares at a premium of 5 per share. You are required to prepare in the books of Sundar investment account and P&L account. For your exercise, assume that the books are closed on 31/12/96 and shares are valued at average cost. Okay, so let us do this problem 2. Okay, let us open books of Sundar, investment account, within bracket script. So shares in exclamation. Okay, so as I said, the columns, you can have column for earlier problem, same column I'll copy it here. So you're going to have column for date, particulars, number of shares, cost. So you can use the same format. Date column, particulars column, debit, credit. Okay, this is debit, this is credit. Okay, so let's come to date on 1/4/96. On 1/4/96. Okay, he got 25,000 shares, particulars. So on 1/4/96 opening balance brought down. He had 25,000 shares, and nominal value per share is basically apparently face value 10. Yes, 2,50,000, and at a cost of 15 rupees, 3,75,000. And I said chronology is very, very important here. What happens after 1/4/96? On 26/96. On 26/96, and he is purchasing 5,000 shares at 16 per share. So to bank, purchase of 5,000 shares at 16 per share. So face value is 50,000 and the cost is 80,000 on 26. Then on 16th August 96, he's going to get bonus shares. Bonus. Now carefully observe, he's got totally 30,000 shares now. 1:6 means what? Bonus share. For every 6 shares held, he's going to get 1 bonus share. 1:6 ratio. So as of now, he's got 30,000 shares. Kindly note this. And for 30,000 shares, he's going to get 5,000 shares. 1:6 means for these 30,000 shares, he's going to get 5,000 bonus shares. 5,000 bonus shares. Nominal value is 50,000 and cost is 0. You all know for bonus shares, there is no cost. On 16th August and on 30th September, he is going to apply for rights to bank, rights issue, within bracket rights issue. Carefully observe, what is the rights issue ratio? 3:7. For every 7 held, 3 shares. For every 7 held, 3 shares. 3:7 ratio. For every 7 held. Now he has got total of 35,000 shares, for which he is going to get 3 per share, out of which he is selling 1/3, he is applying for 2/3. Very important. So eligibility of, carefully observe. I put a note here, rights issue. So rights issue 3:7. So for 35,000 shares, rights will be 15,000 shares. And the question is very clear. He is actually selling, sale of rights, 1/3. So 1/3 of 15,000 shares. That is, he is going to sell 5,000 shares. So he purchases 10,000 shares. So he's got a right to purchase 15,000, out of which he's selling 5,000 and purchasing 10,000. So 10,000, face value 1 lakh at a cost of 15 per share. And on the same date, 30 September, he is going to sell his right shares by bank, sale of rights. So carefully observe, there is no number of shares here because he is not actually purchasing it. So he is only have to put the value because it is going to reduce your cost. The right shares, the question says that the consideration of 2 per share. So 5,000 into 2, he is going to get a consideration of 10,000 rupees. And whatever right shares he has sold normally, that is going to reduce the cost of investment. Very important. The cost of investment is 1,50,000 and the sale of right is 10,000. So you have to put it on the credit side. That means the net cost is only 1,40,000. Okay. Then dividend on shares, 31st October is getting dividend by dividend on shares acquired on 2696. On 2696. Only that is going to reduce the cost. The rest of it will go to P&L. Carefully observe. You can also have a column here for dividend which will go to nominal account, which is going to P&L. So on 2696 he is purchased. Look at this question. Dividend for the year ended 31/3/96 at 20% was declared by X Limited, and dividends for shares acquired by him on 26 ought to be adjusted against cost of purchase. So 2696 he is purchasing 50,000 rupees worth of shares at 80,000. So dividend is going to reduce the cost. Now there are two treatments for dividend. One dividend is it will reduce the cost. The other dividend, because he purchased including dividend, so the cost of investment will get reduced. Alternatively, he can take it to P&L. The question is very clear on that. You should treat it as reduction of cost. When you put it in the cost column, this cost will get reduced. So the 80,000 rupees worth of shares what he bought on 2696, he's got a dividend here. So net of dividend, his cost is only 70,000. So you should put it in the cost column. Then on 1511, he is going to sell the shares. On 1511, by bank, he is going to sell the shares. 25,000 shares is going to sell. And it's very clear, sold 25,000 shares at a premium of 5 rupees. 10 rupees share at 15 rupees premium. So 2,50,000 and he's selling at 3,75,000. Now we have to determine profit or loss on sale of shares. I'll put it as working note. Working note. Number 1, profit or loss on sale of shares. So sale value 3,75,000. He is selling it for 3,75,000. What is the cost we have to consider? Cost is average cost. Cost, carefully observe. Totally, he is going to get debit side all items cost. I will put the debit side total. Look at this, 3,75,000 plus 80,000. He has bought shares 80,000 plus he has bought shares for 1,50,000 minus 10,000 rupees, which is going to reduce the cost of right shares. He has sold the rights, minus 10,000 rupees, which is the dividend on the shares. So the entire cost minus your realization from rights issue and realization from dividend, you get 5,85,000 for 45,000 shares. Total number of shares is 45,000. So he is actually selling how many shares? 20,000 shares. He is selling on the sold 25,000 shares. You need to take pro rata. So dividend is adjusted already. So for 45,000 shares, you got this. And how much is for 25,000 shares? You have to arrive at 25,000 shares. So 5,85,000 into 25,000 divided by 45,000. You will get a value here, which is 3,25,000, and he has sold it for 3,75,000. So profit of 50,000. Profit of rupees 50,000. So very important, dear students, this profit I should transfer it to P&L. on the date of sale 15/11/96 to P&L profit on sale. So he's making a profit of 50,000. Then the closing balance on 31/3/96 should also be on a pro rata basis. Very important. Same formula I am going to use here for working out number 2. Closing value of investments. So his cost of investment was 5,85,000 for how many shares? 45,000 shares. So how much will be for what is cost for 20,000 shares pro rata? So 5,85,000 into 20,000 by 45,000. You will get 2,60,000 as the cost of investments on closing date. So he's got a closing balance of 20,000 shares, nominal value 2 lakhs, and balance is 2,60,000. So now this tallies the total number of shares: 25, 30, 35, 45,000, 4,50,000 and 6,55,000. So this is how you need to prepare the investment account. Clear? Then coming to P&L account, very simple. Profit and loss account. Whatever dividend he received by profit on sale of shares, we just now calculated it. He got a profit of 50,000, and by dividend received on other shares, that is on other shares he has received dividend of 50,000 other than those which was bought on 26/96. So that should be his income. So that should be in P&L. So P&L account balancing figure is 1 lakh. So total is 1 lakh. Very simple. Now carefully observe, dear students. He has actually got dividend. Total 45,000 shares. Out of 45,000 shares, whatever he acquired on 26/96 is dividend. I'll show you how it is. Out of 45,000, he is getting a dividend of 5 per share. So dividend of 20%. 20% 2 rupees per share. 2 rupees per share. So on the number of shares on which he is going to get dividend is 25,000 shares at rupees 2 per share. I'll tell you how. Because normally the question is very clear. He is going to get 2 per share on the shares which was held on the opening date. On the opening date, which is 1/4/96. Held on, because last year dividend. This is last year dividend. So he is going to get dividend only on. So you have to put a note here. He is going to get a dividend of 2 per share on the shares held on 1/4/96. Because all other shares he will not be eligible for dividend. This is dividend declared for the previous year. So opening date, whatever he held on 1/4/96, he will be eligible for a dividend. Are you able to understand this? Good. So very important problem on equity shares. So we have done 2 interesting problems on equity shares. Kindly go through this and let me know whatever doubts you might have. I'll be happy to clarify that. And I'll catch up with you in the next session very soon with few more interesting problems on investment accounts. Take care.